We are performing exploratory data analysis on Game of Thrones data. So in part 1 I discussed about the basics of how you can load data, how you can read data from a CSV file, and I analyzed the data using some graphs also. Now in this part we will continue our discussion, and let's see, you will learn some new things here. So this is the IPyNB file or the Jupyter notebook file that we were using in the previous part. I imported pandas as PD, then I created a data frame here. So I will write something so that you can understand. Created data frame here. This is part of created data frame, and when you will use this variable, this is just printing data frame. So we can print data frame like this. Then I use the head method to print any number of values from top, and then I use the tail method to print any number of values from bottom or tail. Then I gave you an example how you can select one column from data set. So if you will write name of your data frame and use a square bracket, and inside your square brackets if you type the name of your column which is given here, so when you will analyze the data set, so you will also get name of these columns. So we did that. Now when you get this type of data, this is basically a series data, because here we have selected only one column, and then I used a type function. Using type function we can get data type of any type of data, and on series type of data we can perform a value underscore counts method, and this value underscore counts method will just tell you how many values are there in a particular data set of. So suppose there are n number of regions, but the name of these regions are repeating in our data set. So how many times a particular region has been repeated in a data column, so we can tell it using the value underscore counts. You saw this in the previous part, and just by using dot plot in front of this value underscore counts, and in dot plot I gave you an example that you can write a parameter kind is equal to bar. So we can use kind is equal to line, kind is equal to bar, bar h, hist, pi, etc. So we can get this value. Now in this part we will continue our discussion, and the first thing that I want to tell you is how to select two columns, or let's say how to select n number of columns from a data set. So you selected one column. Now you have to learn how to select n columns from a data set. So to make these things as a heading, just write hashtag. Hashtag is comment in Python, and instead of code use markdown, and then when you will run it, so it will become a heading, so that whenever you will share these Jupyter notebook files with anyone, they can understand what you are doing here. So df underscore battles is our data set, and I told you that by using a square bracket we can select any particular column. Let's say I have to select name here. First column that I want to select is name. We can see now only one column is returned here. But what if we have to select two columns? Let's say I want to select year also. So when you will do this, so it will give you an error. So I simply wrote the name of two columns side by side, comma separated, and it gave me an error. Now the concept here is, when you have to select two columns or more columns, then first create a list of columns that you want to select. So calls underscore to underscore select. I am creating a new variable here, and this variable is going to be a list. And again, if you are performing exploratory data analysis using Python, then I think you are familiar with basics of Python. If you are not familiar with basics of Python, I recommend you to go and watch some basic videos of Python. So you must be familiar about list in Python, set in Python, dictionary in Python, and things like that. So a list is a collection of values. A list is a collection of values that are comma separated. A list is indexed, and we create a list using a square bracket. In list there can be any number of values, and all values are separated by comma. So let's say first column that we want to select is name. Second column that we want to select is year. So we have created our list here. In our list there are two columns, name and year, and we can increase any number of columns here because list can have any number of values. And in this df underscore battles, where we used to write the name of one column, let's say we want to select year. So when we did something like that, so instead of one column you just write the name of your list. So calls to underscore select. So we have written the name of our list, and now execute this code, run this code, and now you can see we have created a data frame from two columns. Similarly, if you have to select one more column here, so you can type the name of that column here. Let's say we want to select name, year and region. So because we are analyzing battles in Game of Thrones, the data set we have, so what was the name of that battle, in which year that battle was fought, and what was the region. So now you can see that we have name, year and regions. So now just increase any number of columns, increase or decrease any number of columns here by just writing them here. So this is one thing that you must know when you are learning data frames, when you are learning data analysis, basics of data analysis using Python. Let's say we want to find another data here, and let's say that is Defender King. So here we can write Defender underscore King. Now this particular thing that we are getting here, or that we are using here, is also a data frame. If we will use this, let's copy this. So you can copy this and you can write type here to analyze data frame. I am always using this type function because I just want to analyze everything here. So now in your type function you can see that it is a pandas core data frame. So what can we get from this? If one column is selected, we get a series. If more columns are selected, if one or more columns are selected, it's a data frame. So suppose we select a column like this, so df underscore battles, and then we use two square brackets here. So what I am doing here, I am writing a list directly here. Instead of creating a variable and writing a list, I am writing a list here, and let's select any particular column here. So this is also one column is selected, and let's analyze the type of it. You can see its type is data frame. So when we have used two brackets, it's data frame, and when you will use one bracket, it's series. That's just something that you must understand and know. And Again, we have discussed about basics of series, basics of data frames in in a, in a playlist, in a video, in videos that are there on my profile, so you can watch those to understand this. Now we have done that. Now the next thing is, we now know how to select multiple columns. If you want to select multiple columns, you just have to write the name of your data set, whatever is the name of your data set, and then you just have to use two square brackets, and then you can type any number of columns here. So let's say we want to select year, and we want to select, let's say, name. So now, so actually it's a small mistake. Now this is our data frame. We just have to use square brackets here, two square brackets, and this is how we can select any number of columns. Now the next thing that you must learn is how to view name of all columns. Again, this is really basics of Python pandas. So how can we view name of all columns? And in order to get name of all columns, you just have to first write the name of your data frame, so df underscore battles, and then you just have to write dot columns, columns, and this is a simple data. And now you will get a list. In this list, all column names will be there, so that you can analyze them. So this is some basics of Python pandas. Now I will not tell you how to plot pie chart, how to analyze data using pie chart. So in pie chart we have, so in a pie chart we have slices, and there can be 1 slice, 2 slice, 3 slice, 4 slice. There can be any number of slices. One slice is actually the pie chart. So there can be 2 slices, 3 slices, 4 slices, and the length of each slice and consequently its central angle and area is proportional to the quantity it represents. So now using the pie chart we can find these values, we can analyze the data, and the data that I want to analyze is, I will write it down, which year had most battles. I will use a hashtag here, hashtag will comment it, but if you will execute this line of code as markdown, so it will become a heading. So which year had most battles, and we'll be doing using pie chart. So first, when you have to do something like this, we have to go back to our data frame and see how our data is distributed. So we have years here, right? 298, 298. So this data is sorted according to the year. So now you can see up to row number 6, up to row index number 6, we have year as 298. Then from row number 7 we have year 299, and so on, and then we have 300. So when in particular column you have repetitive values or you have repeating values, so in that column we can apply value underscore counts. You just saw that in the previous example, because this region is also a value that is repeated, right? We have 4 or 5 regions mainly, and that are repeated throughout the data, and we can count how many times a particular region has been repeated. So same thing we did here using the bar chart. We saw how region values were repeated, and you analyze that Riverlands is repeated most number of times in the data set. Now here we want to do something similar. But this time we'll be doing using the pie chart so that you can understand how we can use pie chart. So first you have to select that type of data though. So to select, you have to select df year, ef underscore battles year. So now you can see our year is selected. df underscore battles is our data frame. Most of the time I create data frame using df variable, so that's just the name here. Now when you have selected a particular column, and you can see here this is one column only, right? We are not using two square brackets here. We are just using one square bracket here. That means it's one column, and when it is one column, so it's actually a series data. And on series data we can use value underscore counts method to count repetition of values there. So now because we don't have unique data in every row, there are only 2 or 3 years that are repeated throughout the data rows. So now this will give you that in year 299 20 battles were fought, then in 311, and then in 298 we had 7. So this will give you which year had most battles, but we don't want to analyze using just or by just seeing it. We want to analyze it using a pie chart. So now you can write dot plot here, right? And here in dot plot you can write kind is equal to pi. So your kind means what type of plot you want to plot, and I gave you examples. So in upcoming chapters you will see more examples, and that's why I am explaining you type of graphs also. I am explaining you their practical usage also. I have a video on my profile that says type of graph and the theory of graphs, what type of graph can be used and where we can use. So you can watch that video also on my channel profile. So now run this, and so now you can see we are getting graph here, and here we have 3 slices, and again the area of every slice represents the number, right? It represents the number. It simply shows that more than 50% of the data belongs to year number 299. This graph can be plotted anywhere. This type of graph can be used to analyze any type of data where you have classified data. Suppose you have persons belonging to class 1, class 2 and class 3. Suppose passengers are traveling in a plane, and in that plane there are 3 classes. It can be economy, standard or business class. It can be any class. So you have to count how many persons are there in each class. So that is called classified data. So when and classified data is when you have repetitive values in your data set. So you can count how many values are there per class. So you can use pie chart to display that, and you can use bar chart to display that as well. We saw that example in previous video. Now this pie chart is not looking perfect right now. It is looking oval shape. To make this pie chart as a circular or to make this pie chart a circular shaped pie chart, we have another parameter in this plot method, and that parameter is called fig size. FIGSIZ. Then in fig size you have to use a list. Again, a list can be created using square brackets. Here you can provide a value that what should be the size of your chart. So I am giving you an example 6, 6. This will give you an idea that what a 6, 6 fig size will look like. You have to remember that in my case the browser zoom level is 133%. So you will see a bigger graph here. In your case it will be smaller. So now you can see that. So when you have used a fixed size of 6 comma 6, so your graph just becomes circular. We can use this on any type of graph. For example, here we had kind is equal to bar, and let's say we want a fixed size. Fixed size represents figure size. Fixed size is equal to, and fixed size, a square bracket can be written, and let's say 10 comma 4. So 10 will be the length and 4 will be the height. So this is length comma height. So now you can see we have a fixed size like this. So and now you are seeing that the graph is looking a bit of different here. I will explain you why it is looking different. So don't worry about that. So we are seeing this graph here. So here we are seeing the plot, and this is pie chart. Now in our pie chart, you can see we are seeing this information, and we are seeing just year name written over it. What if we have to give some titles to our chart, right? What if I want some title to this particular chart? So the title in this case is which year had most battles. Let's say this is the title. It can be anything. So can you guess what can be the parameter for title? You guessed it right. It is title, and you can simply write it here. So title, you are seeing a very important thing here. In our method, we have used only one method, plot, which is plotting everything. You are just changing the kind, and the kind is changed. You can set its fixed size, that is figure size, and you can also set its title. For which year had most battles, we can use a question mark here. But remember, this parenthesis should be closed, otherwise you will get error. So now you can see in our figure we have a title also. Now the next thing is, these slices represent percentage, right? In a circle or in a pie, 360 degree means 100%. So 360 means 100%. We have to see what percent is 299. So we know that most battles are fought in 299, but as compared to other values here, as compared to 300 and 298, what is the percentage here? Again, you will use, or you can use all the type of maths to compare it, because these values are not really big. You can compare them. So you just have to add everything together, 20 plus 11 plus 7, and you can just divide them and you can get the values. But if we have programming, then why will we do it ourselves? So there is a simple attribute here, and I will use that attribute. Again guys, I can provide this code to you, and I will also give you description how you can get this code from me, so that you don't have to write anything. And this analysis will be in various parts, because I am trying to explain everything as much as I can. And now there is an attribute that is called auto PCT. Auto PCT means auto percentage, you can say. And in auto PCT you have to write %1.0f. It's a float value, because we want float value and we want it in percentage. So now let's see what will be the result of this. Here you have. So here you have which year had most battles, and we already know the answer, but again you can just save this image. You can use it in your project file, or suppose you are performing analysis on some other type of project, your college project, or it can be a project of your office or anything, and you are given a data set of any organization or you have done a survey, and based on survey you have some values. So you can use these charts there. So you can use these charts, and using these charts you can perform this analysis. Now I will explain you why the style of this graph changed, because I was trying different things and I changed the style here. First I want to explain you that there is a library in Python that is called matplotlib, and we can import matplotlib from matplotlib import pyplot as PLT. Again, basics of matplotlib are also discussed in our profile channel, and you can go there and you can watch some videos there. So matplotlib is the default library which we can use for, you have to import it though, and when you install Anaconda Navigator, everything, pandas, matplotlib, everything will be installed with Anaconda. So you just can import from matplotlib. We are importing pyplot. Pyplot is used to plot all type of graphs as PLT. So when you will do this, matplotlib will be imported. Okay, now have a look at this. Whenever we are plotting a graph, it is already plotting using matplotlib. You can see matplotlib here, and you can see matplotlib here also. So it had basic style. So we have to consider this example here. It had basic style in the previous part when we discussed it. We can change the style of type of graph also. So I will show you how to find those styles. So we can use this. Now pyplot has been imported as PLT. So we can use PLT to access various methods and data inside the library. Now plt.style.available. When you will run this, so we have these styles. You can see BMH, classic, dark background, fast, 538, ggplot, and things like that. And the style that has been used there is ggplot. So how to set that style? So we use plt.style.available to find the list of available styles, and we can use plt.style.use, and you can simply set any name here and you can get the style. So now we have a working code here where we have just plotted something using pie chart. Let's copy this, and the style or whatever we are seeing here is the ggplot version of it. I will use some other styles. Again, these are some names that we can use. We tried GG style. Why not choose and try 538? And you can take it as your homework also. And if you are performing analysis with me, so you can try these different type of styles, because again we can download these images, we can use these images in our projects. This is an example I am explaining you on Game of Thrones data. It can be any type of data and it can be any type of reports. Suppose you are writing blogs also. If you are writing blogs and there you want to show some analysis to your blog readers, to your fans, you can do that. So this is looking plain right now. How about we change some style of it? So we will use 538 here, and you will see that style is changed here, right? It is looking different than that, and it is looking, I think, better than that. And here the color scheme is different, the background is different, and things like that. So guys, that's it for this video. In this video I tried to explain you some basics of Python pandas, and I also gave you an example of which year had the most battles. In the next example that we will do, or in the next video, I will explain you how to find I will explain you how to find major depth and major capture per year. So in our data set we have battle number, we have attacker, we have defender, we have major depth, major capture, rack size and things like that. And I will explain you this thing how to find major depth and major capture per here. Here we have to use some functions like group by and sum and selection of multiple columns and things like that. So if you are learning Python pandas, this thing will help you in getting more knowledge and more control over Python pandas. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.